You own a rental condo in Metro Manila. On paper, it looks like a solid investment. You paid 8 million pesos for a one-bedroom unit in a decent district. Your tenant pays 25,000 pesos a month. That is a gross yield of 3.75% annually. But here is what the brochure never showed you. Subtract association dues. Subtract property tax. Subtract 1 to 2 months of vacancy every year when a tenant leaves. Subtract repairs. Subtract the broker fee when you release. Your actual net yield on that 8 million peso investment after all real costs is somewhere between 2 and 3% annually. Meanwhile, a Philippine government program backed by the full faith of the Republic of the Philippines is paying 7.12% per annum. Tax-free, no tenants, no vacancy, no repairs, no phone calls at midnight because the aircon broke. Just 7.12% credited to your account every year, guaranteed by the government. That comparison is what this video is about. And once you see the full picture, you're thinking about where to put serious capital in the Philippines will never be the same. Let us start with what every major savings and income vehicle in the Philippines is actually paying right now. Philippine digital banks have been aggressively marketing high interest rates, and the confusion around what is real versus promotional is significant. MariBank advertises up to 15% per annum, but the 15% applies only to capped balances and requires you to complete monthly spending missions every single month. The base rate without conditions is 3.5%. That is a very different number. Tonik Bank offers 4 to 4.5% with no conditions and no spending requirements. Simple and consistent. MariBank, formerly C Bank and backed by C Group, the parent of Shopee, offers 3.5 to 4%. GoTyme cut its rate to 3% in January 2026. Salmon Bank is running a promotional time deposit at 8% but requires a minimum of 1 million pesos locked in until June 2026. So here is the honest ranking of what Filipino savers can actually earn right now without promotional conditions. Salmon Bank at 8% but requires 1 million pesos locked in. MP2 at 7.12% tax-free with no such requirement. CIMB at up to 7% but conditional on balance growth. Tonik at 4 to 4.5%. MariBank at 3.5 to 4%. GoTyme at 3%. Now, here is the number that changes everything in this comparison. MP2 at 7.12% is completely tax-free. Interest income from bank deposits is subject to 20% final withholding tax. Dividend income from PSE stocks is subject to 10% final withholding tax. MP2 dividends are exempt from tax entirely. So when you compare MP2 at 7.12% tax-free to a bank deposit at 7%, the actual after-tax comparison is 7.12% versus 5.6%. MP2 wins by 152 basis points. That gap compounds significantly over a 5-year holding period. Now let us bring the property comparison fully into this framework. Metro Manila has 79,200 unsold condo units. The overall vacancy rate is 24.7% and rising. Even in the strongest districts like BGC and Makati, CBD vacancy runs at 6 to 10%, meaning every condo owner realistically experiences 1 to 1.5 months of vacancy per year. Here's what that does to your actual net yield. Start with a gross yield of 5% on a well-located BGC unit. Subtract 1.5 months of vacancy, which removes 12.5% of your annual rental income. Subtract association dues of 60 to 100 pesos per square meter per month. On a 35 square meter unit, that is 25,200 to 42,000 pesos annually. Subtract property tax, periodic maintenance, and broker fees. Your actual net yield on a well-located BGC condo after all real costs is 2.5 to 3.5% in the current market. Compare that to MP2 at 7.12% tax-free. That yield gap on a 10 million peso investment is 360,000 to 460,000 pesos per year in lost income every year, compounding. For as long as you hold the property instead of the alternative, Now, before this is mistaken for an argument against property entirely, let us be precise. Property provides capital appreciation potential that MP2 does not. In premium districts like Rockwell and Makati, CBD, that appreciation potential is real. Property provides leverage. You can borrow to buy a condo in a way you cannot borrow to invest in MP2. These are legitimate arguments that the yield comparison alone cannot dismiss. But here is the honest conclusion the data supports. For the portion of your capital deployed primarily for income generation, the case for Metro Manila real estate in the current environment is the weakest it has been in a decade relative to available alternatives. MP2 at 7.12% tax-free is not a consolation prize for investors who cannot afford property. It is a genuinely superior income vehicle compared to the net yields available on most Metro Manila residential property right now. The framework serious investors are using right now is not property versus MP2 as a binary choice. It is a capital allocation decision. Property for long-term capital appreciation in the right districts. MP2 for guaranteed tax-free income that outperforms most alternatives on a risk-adjusted basis. Digital banks for liquidity and emergency fund management. PSE dividend stocks for companies with pricing power whose dividends grow over time. The investors who build the most wealth over the next decade are not the ones who pick one vehicle and ignore the others. They are the ones who understand precisely what each instrument offers, what it costs in risk and illiquidity, and how to allocate capital based on their specific goals. 7.12% tax-free with zero vacancy risk does not give you a story to tell at a dinner party the way owning a BGC condo does. But it pays you more than your Metro Manila rental property nets after all costs in the current market. And in investing, what pays more with less risk is always the more interesting conversation, regardless of how exciting the alternative sounds in a brochure. And here is the practical framework for applying everything we just covered to your own portfolio right now. Ask yourself 3 questions. First, what is your current net yield after all real costs on every property you own? Not the gross number, the real number after vacancy, months, dues, tax, and maintenance. If that number is below 5%, you are already earning less than MP2 on that capital. Second, what percentage of your investable assets is currently generating guaranteed tax-free returns versus sitting in assets with vacancy risk, illiquidity risk, and management burden? If the answer is less than 20%, you are likely underweighting the most efficient income vehicle available in the Philippine market right now. Third, what is your actual plan for the capital? If you reallocated even a portion of your property income into MP2 or higher yielding digital instruments while keeping the property for its appreciation potential. Because the most sophisticated capital allocation move available to a serious Philippine investor right now is not choosing between property and savings instruments. It is owning both deliberately, property for the appreciation story in the right districts, MP2 and the best digital bank rates for the income story with zero management headache. The data in this video gives you the numbers. What you do with those numbers is the decision that separates investors who build wealth systematically from those who build it accidentally. If you want to see exactly how to construct that kind of dual allocation portfolio with real numbers and real peso amounts, that breakdown is in the next video. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Because on this channel, the numbers always make the argument, not the brochure.